A warm welcome in my tiny little space, about the size of the planet of the Little Prince, 4.5 meters by 3.5 meters. And I feel very, very privileged to have this little garden, which gives me a lot of joy in terms of light, in terms of the plants that I have grown here in my little garden. And I will talk to you about them, but in a moment. First, before I show you the sublime little place here, I would like to thank very much the RHS for the initiative of Grow Your Own campaign. It's fantastic because all whilst this isolation was going on, we have reconnected in many ways with cooking and growing food. And that in itself is fantastic. I met so many families, through the phone, through Skype, through videos, showing me their wonder dish, their first sourdough, or their first tomatoes, okay, or their first basilic plants. And it's such a pride, I think. So we are now reconnecting with food, and it's a big moment. What we are learning effectively, it is that food connects with everything. What kind of health we will have tomorrow? What kind of environment we're going to have tomorrow? Shall we go on to import food from across the world? What kind of communities, families we will have? So this sharing of food and growing of food is crucial. And of course, my heart goes completely, and I'm sure yours as well, goes to the farmers who grow our food and how little they grow. Because it's up to us, consumers, to buy, not just on price, but on where it's coming from. When you import food from millions of miles away, you are creating pollution with the chemicals poured on that food. So then we create a secondary pollution by bringing all this food from billions of miles away. And then we have to clean up all this pollution. So I think grow your own in Quat'Saisons makes a great deal of sense. So effectively our farmers can grow more of our food. We still import at least 70% of our food when we could grow at least 60 or more of our food. It will cost us a little bit more, but it will be grown home, close to us. And for me this argument is hugely because my mom really taught me a few very important lessons at a very early age. I learned seasonality at home because 90% of what we ate would be grown into our gardens. At a very early age, I connected with the earth, which varieties, when to seed a plant. So that was my apprenticeship at my home. And seasonality drives everything what I do. And every person at Le Manoir, I pass on this knowledge of local values close to home. It makes sense because if it's seasonal, it's close to home. Better taste, better textures, better colors, better nutrients. Then if it's close to home, you effectively buy your food from a local farmer. So you help this farmer to keep his land, to keep his craft. Then, of course, you help your village, your local village, to keep its post office, to keep its little pub. So you see how everything connects with each other. Now I'm going to present my tiny micro gardens, okay? Obviously, Le Manoir Quat'Saisons is something else. Okay, we have 150, 170 varieties of plants, okay? There's 12 gardens, they're all inspired by my travels. Marvelous people I've met, many gardeners as well. And all that has really inspired me so much in creating these wonder gardens, okay, which are the heart of Le Manoir, the heart and the lungs. It's not the food, the gardens are the canvas on which I grow my gastronomy. One thing I'm extremely proud, okay, is this wonderful star jasmine, this evergreen plant, which gives so much luxuriance to these four walls, really. It dresses it so beautifully. This jasmine, effectively, is budding now. You can see these tiny little buds here. In about 3 weeks, there'll be some beautiful scented jasmine flowers, full of them. It will be like a snowstorm. It's very little maintenance. When you're at home, of course, food is an important part of it, but also to grow ornamental plants are always gives you such a pleasure. So now I would like to show you a few other plants which I have grown. Okay, that's Aqua Dulce. Okay, it's one of the older varieties of British broad beans. Beautiful flowers. Imagine, look at that, these gorgeous flowers. how pretty they are. They're so beautiful and very sweet as well. They eat very well. You often place them on food, just a bit of color sometimes. Then you have a tomato here, okay, which is a Marzano variety, okay. And that's interesting about tomatoes because varieties play such an important role, okay. What I mean by that, for example, the Roma, Marzano varieties are tomatoes for sauce. Why? They're oval, they're thick wall, very little moisture inside, so they make the very best sauces. On the other hand, the Marmande, which I have beyond there, makes the best tomato salad and the best baked potato with a cœur de bœuf. So each variety has got a role to play. You know, the Black Russian, for example, is divine as well. It's this big, fat, black tomato, you know, so beautiful, full of flesh and juice and aromas, you know, very beautiful tomato experience. Or if you go for the little cherry tomato, you must take one of my recipes, and I will put it on my website, which is called the essence of tomato, and you must all do it. This dish has traveled across the world, and you will love it, and it's simple. So we've got tomatoes, we've got a bit of common mint here, little jam. You have a trellis here, that's a bitter, very bitter salad, okay? That will go from seeds, will go only in 2 months. 1 month and a half, you have a beautiful produce. So effectively, those plants are perfect to grow, okay, on your balcony, to grow on the edge of a window. Okay, you don't need very much space to have that kind of a pleasure. You can see the magic of growing food, and mostly as well, imagine your child, show him that magic, show him or her that little seed, tiny little seed, all brown, all crinkled, can create this amazing plant. Okay, so you've got some little red shards, yellow shards, okay, that's the lettuce. Oh, Reine des Glaces. Reine des Glaces, I get very emotional when I talk about Reine des Glaces because that was my favorite salad in my home, okay, and because it's crunchy, it's sweet, it's got a beautiful heart, it's a tasty, really wonderful taste. Okay, so I think the Reine des Glaces, the ice queen, okay, is one of my favorite lettuce. And my mom actually, for varieties was so important. You know, when my mom, for example, told me, Raymond, get me some frisée. She had an idea of which dish she would do. Or get me some plain lettuce. She always, the varieties played an important part. For example, potatoes. She would never send me, Raymond, get me some potatoes. Never. She said, Raymond, get me some rat. I know we would have sauté, or grenaille would have rissolé potato. So every variety had a very special use as well. Okay, so here are my potatoes. Oh, very special variety. It's called Agatha. My mom worked hard all of her life, and I wanted to spoil her. Okay, obviously I brought her to Manoir twice. And also I decided to take her to the south of France. I wanted to give her luxury. She never looked at luxury. She never tasted it. So I wanted to taste. So we wanted to have lunch. Okay, so we stopped at a restaurant and we had the best bouillabaisse. But the best part of the bouillabaisse was the potato. Big chunky potato, so sweet, so flavorful. And I asked the restaurateur, where does it come from? And he eventually gave me the variety, and it's called Agatha. And we grew it at Le Manoir. Now it's very much a well-known potato. It has grown very well, although it normally grows in the south of France. It has actually done extremely well when it's grown into a beautiful space where the sun is coming in. I've got, of course, a parsley, okay? One is close to my heart as well, because this variety is called Nero Milan. Of course, it's not French, but the Italian have got some pretty good courgettes. And I chose these varieties out of maybe 20 trials, different varieties, and I chose this one because it is so fruitful. It will grow at least 5 courgettes, a week, for about a month. Later on, actually, I'm going to show you a fantastic dish which is close to my heart, which actually called Assiette Anne-Marie, because it's a plate of wonderful vegetables, okay, and the star part of it, okay, is this courgette with its own flour, and some wonderful varieties, well, marjoram here, okay, and the mint here. Okay, so you have here some beautiful tomatoes. That's a Marmande variety here. This one I will have to growing some bigger sticks because they are growing very fast. Of course, all these plants have got a story, most of them anyway. And this lavender here, which is an Iscot variety, it's got the best blossom, very purple, very lasting as well. And they are very much part of the identity of Le Manoir. And the first thing I did, I wanted to bring a smile on our British guests who don't always see the sunshine. So when you see lavender, it makes you smile, it makes you think of Provence, of the rosé wine. There's lavender everywhere. And the great thing about it for a gardener, you only change it every 6 years or 7 years. So that's good. So you've got the parsley, garlic, chive, okay? And here you've got the mint, okay? And the different varieties of mint. And that is my great favorite. This beautiful plant. She's even taller than me. This variety actually is called Archangelica. In the patisserie, confiserie, they would use this part here and that part here, the stalk here, okay? Then blanch it and then confit it in lots of syrup, okay? And it becomes a bit of coloring. They would put in this very green, sweet confiserie. Me, I use it a lot in my cuisine, okay? With kidneys, with sweetbreads, with other meats as well. And of course, it produces some beautiful seeds here, okay, which you can brush. Look, we can see this pollen. You can brush them, any fish, okay, with this, you know, it gives such a beautiful flavor. So it's also, to me, food, of course, is when I look at a garden, I look at its beauty, okay, at its structure, at its seasonality, okay, but also I look at, of course, flavor, what it can add to my food as well. I love garden. They are very much part of who I am. At Le Manoir, they certainly take a huge place in so much that they are the star of the place. There are 12 gardens now, and soon to be 14. And we have also, with RHS, who has been a fantastic supporter, we just finished a gardening school last year. Okay, so we have Raymond Blanc School and we're now Raymond Blanc Gardening School. Okay, beautiful greenhouse, traditional English greenhouse. Okay, where we welcome guests, children as well, and schools, of course, to learn about garden, about seed, about arbology, about growing food. And of course, about the importance of biodiversity. That is so crucial. We understand really better how food grows. So food becomes part of our consciousness. And that now what's happening, we have a consumer which is much more knowledgeable, much more responsible, much more aware. And this campaign, there's a long way to create even more awareness, and that's exciting. Like most of you who love gardens, I'm very much missing, okay, the Royal Horticultural Chelsea Flower Show and the craftsmanship, okay, of these amazing gardeners, their skills, their art, and I never miss it. And I have a wonderful little Jardin Blanc as a little sanctuary in the middle of the RHS Chelsea Flower Show. So we look very much forward to see you at the RHS Chelsea Flower Show and at Jardin Blanc next year. So à bientôt. Au revoir.